Alright, Red Finds, what we're going for here is a pharaoh who cries out his soul for his adoptive younger brother. Can you handle that? Perfect! Looks like it's that time to celebrate America's favorite fishing boy. DreamWorks Pictures, that one company that I'll remember because they made The Terminal and nothing more. Their name is somewhat all over the place in the film industry as a live-action studio, mostly because the films they made were mostly decent. Now let's be fair here, they made some good stuff. Gladiator, Galaxy Quest, Transformers, Real Steel, AI Artificial Intelligence, etc. But outside of those, we got Norbit, if you just love making fun of obesity. But that is DreamWorks Pictures, a live-action studio. And for their animation division, they're all over the world. They're the biggest animation studios out there that makes great, decent, or bad films. Firstly, we have the masterpieces, stuff like Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, mostly spectacular in every single way. Then we have decent ones, stuff like B-Movie, Over the Hedge, Flushed Away. These movies work in some way. And finally, we have the other ones. So why am I really bringing this up? What's going on here? Well, if you haven't noticed by now, DreamWorks as a whole is turning 30 this year. Well, I'll be. Because of this, I wanted to take action by talking about one of my favorite animated films from the company. Is it Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda? Well, no, but I'll talk about them at some point. But the film I want to talk about is a forgotten masterpiece, and I feel like it's fair to give this film the recognition it deserves. The Prince of Egypt, the second feature film from DreamWorks Animation and the first to be traditionally animated. And it's also an adaptation of the Book of Exodus, the second story of the Bible, and this bad boy right here is one of the greatest animated films of all time. How is it possible? It goes all the way back to Jeffrey Katzenberg, back when he was a former chairman at Walt Disney Studios. Katzenberg always wanted to do an animated adaptation of the 1956 film The Ten Commandments, so he pitched the idea to Michael Eisner, the CEO. But Eisner turned it down to keep in line with Disney's neutral stance towards religion. Oh, Disney. This led Katzenberg to resign from the company, but the idea for the film was brought back at the formation of DreamWorks in 1994. And with that started a 4-year development of Katzenberg's passion project. And the amount of people involved to make this movie possible, let's just say they had all the help they could get. Starting with animation, it included 350 people from 34 different countries, including the artists from Walt Disney Animation Studios. And again, that's just from the animation crew, and when they wanted to make the movie as accurate as possible, oh boy did they call out the big guns. Biblical scholars, Christian, Jewish, and Muslim theologians, and Arab American leaders. After all that was said and done, the movie was delivered to theaters in December 18th, 1998, and it did pretty well. The reviews were positive, critics praised it for its visuals, songs, score, and voice acting. And on top of that, it grossed $218 million worldwide, making it the most successful non-Disney animated film at the time. And since I loved this movie to death for years, I decided to state my opinion on it. So sit back or hop on the camel because I'm going to be talking about The Prince of Egypt. So if you read the Book of Exodus or at least heard of the story, you already know what's going down here. It pretty much follows the life of Moses from being the Prince of Egypt to a prophet chosen by God to carry out his destiny by leading the Hebrews out of slavery. But how accurate is this movie to the actual source material? Well, it's a close second. It's mostly accurate, but there are some inaccuracies in the plot here and there. From Aaron doing the whole "let my people go" speech because Moses couldn't speak that well, to Moses having 2 sons. At least that's what I'm gathering here. But the one I've noticed so far is the relationship between Ramesses and Moses. Instead of Ramesses being jealous of Moses, they were actually brothers, and that's pretty much the story of the film. A lie made them brothers, and the truth separates them forever, and I like how they went for this direction. The plot overall is mostly accurate to the source material, so there's really nothing much to complain here. If there was one thing this film has compared to other Disney animated films in the 90s, it's the breathtaking animation. Now let's be fair here, stuff like The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin have some good moments here and there, but The Prince of Egypt is on a whole different level. Especially that the animators who were working on it used the technology at the time to their advantage, and oh boy did it pay off. These animators went far and beyond to make some of these scenes work in a film like this, and they work in the way that makes it spectacular. From the chariot scene to the plagues, especially the Angel of Death. And then I bring up the fact that the parting of the Red Sea took 10 animators 2 full years to complete. The amount of effort put onto this scene kinda proves my point that this film has breathtaking visuals. It kinda makes me wish that some studios would put this amount of effort into their visual effects, but unfortunately, we live in reality. Now, imagine you're watching a decent animated film and it already starts off with a That was the moment I fell in love with the soundtrack. You can have your Hamilton, The Lion King, Frozen, or heck any other Disney songs because I might as well be listening to The Prince of Egypt 3 times a week. Firstly, we have Deliver Us, the most powerful opening to a movie in the film industry, and once you put it like that, they actually have a lot more potential than Disney. They just don't want to do it anymore. Then we have All I've Ever Wanted, Through Heaven's Eyes, Playing with the Big Boys, all amazing stuff. And then there's The Plagues and When You Believe, and they're pretty much my favorite songs in this entire film. And on top of that, there's another version of When You Believe with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, but I prefer the movie version. I guess I like the fact that version builds up to be more impactful at the end. I like that. This soundtrack is awesome and we might as well appreciate it because again, it's most likely that DreamWorks will never do anything like this ever again. So, let's make the most of it. The Prince of Egypt will go down in history as the masterpiece lost in time, and it's a shame because it's the best film DreamWorks has ever made. It's pretty accurate to the source material, it has gorgeous animations, and it has the best soundtrack for an animated film. I just wish that DreamWorks would do something like that again because they did it so well. I mean, to be fair, that movie had a lot of people involved, so that would make some sense. But come on, DreamWorks, you don't have to turn it into a film franchise. You could do a show similar to VeggieTales or that one Hanna-Barbera cartoon, just something. But hey, at least we got a prequel to the film in 2000. Yeah, I'll get to that one at some point. I just wanted to say happy 30th birthday to DreamWorks, and to celebrate, I decided to do movie reviews for the studio, and along with an entirely different studio. And don't worry, I'll do movie reviews from other studios, but right now I'm mainly focusing on only 2. Let me know down below in the comments what film from DreamWorks you want me to talk about next. But for now, it's the Torch Lady's time to shine.